Hello guys, let's continue our topic dedicated to percentage basics. And actually I decided to transfer from previous video all that task into new one so that you first one more time recap the previous material in full, and actually here we just keep going our solving. All right, so if you want to try your ability to solve that, pause the video, just have a snapshot and try to go through each exercise, and after that you can just match with my results. Okay, for someone who wants to understand how it works, because right now he or she doesn't have any idea how to do it, just one more time I encourage you to watch the previous video, and here we just try to find solutions. So we are here, all right, and what you need to do, you need to find some amount of percentage, you see everywhere percentage, out of the total amount, right? And there are several ways. For example, the first way I consider as the most efficient, because you just simply multiply percentage as the fraction by the value. Okay, let's do the first way. And the second way, I'll just show you how it works if you use proportion or ratio. All right, so you're just using straight methods. We simply need to say that in order to find, remember, x percentage out of amount, you need to convert first into fraction. So that's why by definition means x over 100. And then, because this is the fraction out of the whole part, so what are you doing? You just multiplying by the amount, okay? So by the amount. This is the reference formula. So that's how we always used to find shares or a fraction of something, all right? So let's try to do it. So 20% of 3 simply is 20 over 100, and then you multiply by 3, all right? That's how it works. So you cancel, so 2 over 10. I will leave 10, all right, because I would like to use decimal as a result, so just simply multiply 3 by the top part, all right? So I'll get 6 over 10, or as decimal is going to be 0.6 kg. So if you want, or if you ask to give you answer in grams, you just simply can convert by multiplying by 1000. So in this case, you'll get the answer in grams. That will be 600 grams, all right? But if you are not asked, just leave as decimal. All right. For example, let's take D. 1 1/4. So first of all, I convert into decimal, 125. Okay, 1.25 percentage. But now I need to divide by 100 and multiply by 2000 liters. All right. So you can do it using just calculator, but I can do it like that. So 100 and 2 zeros were cancelled. And now what I need to do is just 125 multiplied by 20. Okay, so I just taken that, I'm multiplying, and in the end I add 1 0. Or if it's decimal, like with decimal point, I just transfer one decimal point one step ahead. For example, let's multiply 2 by 125. So I'll get 2.5, right? And because I need to actually add 0, but because we have decimal point, it's simply as if I multiply by 10, I simply transfer decimal point one step ahead. So I'll get 25. And that's going to be a result for this question. Okay, so D. All right, I skipped the other ones, and now I just show you, for example, on B, I'll show you how proportional ratio works. All right, so it works pretty easy, but however, the first method I think is faster. It's like a fast track. Okay, so 4.2 percentage, so we'll do B. 4.2 percentage out of 26,000. All right. The methods what is called ratio, okay? So you just complete proportion or ratio, and I write 4.2 percentage is, so it's corresponding to a known amount in dollars. So that's why we put X. And below percentage, we understand that because we'll find it out of the whole amount. So we need to write 100 percentage is exactly this amount. So 26,000, all right, dollars. So look, be careful here. I write percentage below percentage, and let's say dollars amount under dollars. So it means that in this case, you will have the right proportion. So how to solve it? So you can convert into ratio. So for example, you can divide the top one by the bottom one, and you equate with the top one again by the bottom one. All right, so how to do this? How to write? So simply write something like that. X over 26. So one more time, percentage under percentage in dollars and dollars, all right? So that you understand, your final answer should contain dollars. So that's why X should have dollars amount. And indeed, because percentage will be cancelled here. Here and here, you just simply cancel. How do you resolve this ratio? You just simply need to do what? Criss-cross multiplication. But because you have X to be left on the right side, it means like a single one or alone. You just simply need to do criss-cross multiplication, 26,000 by 4.2. Right, so you'll get 4.2 multiplied by 26,000 and divide by 100. All right, as you remember, for example, if we apply just our straight methods, we just simply need to write what? 4.2 over 100. We convert percentage into fraction, and just we multiply by $26,000. You see the same structure. If you compare with what we have absolutely the same. So I think, and you guys probably think as well, so the first method works faster. Okay. So, and you'll get the same answer. All right, let's complete this task. So I erase that, and let's complete this task here about Alex. So Alex scored 72 percentage for examination out of 150 marks. So how many marks did Alex score? All right. So this task is about how many marks Alex scored. Because he scored 72 percentage, I will use direct methods. 72 over 100 and just simply apply it to 150 marks. That allows me to find exactly how many marks did Alex got here. All right, did Alex get? So 72, let's do it. Calculator, it will be faster. 150 and over 100. Okay, so what I will get is 108 marks. Okay. Next one. This is like multiple question task ABC. So Petra has monthly income. All right, she doesn't have to pay any tax on the first. She earns, but she has to pay 15%. So this is finance or financial maths. All right. So basically, here you need to apply percentage general knowledge to your like real word problem task. All right, Petra has monthly income, and pay attention to what's reading here. She doesn't have to pay any tax on the first 2,400 she earns, but she has to pay 15 of the remainder as tax. Okay, she has to pay 15% of the remainder as tax. Okay, first of all, maybe let's clarify what taxation is. So taxes is basically payment in favor of governments. It means for the person, it turns out to be outflow of the cash, or possible outflow of the cash. So anyway, if you want to calculate taxes, and in this case, let's say it's 50% of the remainder as tax. So basically, this tax rate is considered to be 15%, but you need to carefully read exactly of which amount you need to take this rate. So of the remainder, okay? So that's why for the first 2,400 pounds, she has an exemption. She means she doesn't need to pay. Okay, so that's why, first of all, we need to calculate remainder, right? And the question is asked as, so how much tax does Petra have to pay? All right, so we need to find 15% as the fraction again, out of 100. And of which amount? Of the amount that's left after the first 2,400 basically is subtracted. So basically, our taxation basis, it looks like her initial amount 4,700, and we subtract like allowance. It's called allowance when you are not eligible to pay. So when you're eligible not to pay, actually. So 15 over 100. So you simply apply 0.15 to the difference, right? So the difference becomes 2,300 pounds. All right, so now we just simply take calculators and try to calculate that. All right, so 0.15 multiplied by 2,300. 345 pounds. It's going to be taxes, okay? That's taxes, all right? So we've got A. How much does Petra have left after tax has been paid? So what does it mean? If she paid out taxes, but she had initial amount, not that amount, of course. From initial amount, she just basically needs to subtract, because that's payment made in favor of government or taxation authorities. So that's why the money she has left in the pocket is basically the difference of 4,700 and 345 pounds. All right, let's do it and calculate. So subtract that amount, and we'll see that she'll be left with 4,355. All right, pounds. That's B. Right, that's amount represent B. So next, the last, what percentage of does Petra actually pay in tax? All right, so one more time, again, that's about careful readers. 15% of the remainder, that's tax. And if you answer 15%, it would be incorrect, because this is the amount of tax out of the remainder. It means out of this amount. Yes, in this case, it's 15%. Exactly. So, this amount, 345 pounds, is exactly of 15%. But you ask about percentage that she paid, it means this amount out of this amount, all right? And what we need to do, again, just complete as a fraction, first of all. So we simply need to say that 345 as the fraction out of 4,700, and we need to multiply it by 100%, because we need to calculate this fraction as a percentage. All right, so let's do it. 355 multiplied by 100 and over 4,700. All right, so we'll get 7.55. All right, let's do it. Okay, yeah, let's do it. I just checking it's right or not. Yeah, it's right. So 7.55 as a percentage. So we round up. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's move next. So the next one, all right. If 3 students in class are absent of 20, so in class of 24 absent, what percentage are present? All right, So present is basically those who present, yes, over, so one more time. So x, let's say x, those who are present, it would divide by 24. We'll get the fraction of those who present and multiply by 100. Okay, now let's find who present. If 3 were absent out of 24, so it looks like 21 were present. So 21 over 24 and multiply by 100%. That's an idea, all right? 21 over 24 and multiply so by 100. It turns out to be 87.5 as a percentage. So this is the answer. All right. So next one, after 2 hours of walk, a walker completed 8-kilometer journey. Okay, of 11.5. Calculate percentage of journey which remains. So one more time, let's just draw quick. This is the whole 11.5 that he's supposed to cover, and 8 kilometers he covered after 2 hours. So let's say it's somewhere here. All right. So this distance is 8 kilometers. So the remainder, actually remaining distance is here, right? X is the remaining distance. In order to calculate a percentage of journey which remains, so we need to take this amount and divide by 100 and take it out of 11.5. All right, so this x is simply the whole segment minus this part that he has covered. Okay, so that's why we just simply subtracting 8, 11.5 minus 8, that's x over 100 multiplied by 11.5. All right, so let's do it. It's going to be 3.5 over 100 and multiplied by 11.5. Let's do it. 3.5, 11.5 and over 100. So it looks like 0.4, 0.4025. So one more time. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's correct. So actually the calculated percentage which remains, yeah, that's our amount. I'm just checking. Yeah, it's 0.5, but oh, okay. And so x over 100. Why it's over 100? Yeah, we just simply need to calculate percentage of journey which remains out of, yeah, that was incorrect actually. So one more time, let's complete the right way. So one more time, that's 8 kilometers, right? And the whole segment is 11.5. So when we calculated x as the difference, 11.5 minus 8, and we'll get 3.5 kilometers. And now we need to calculate percentage of journey, which remains. So it means we're taking 3.5 kilometers out of 11.5, right? From initial amount and multiplied by 100. Yeah, now that's correct. Okay, so let's do it quick. 3.5 times 100 and over 11.5. So we got 30.43, so around like 13.4%. Yeah, now it's correct. Sorry, it was my fault. I incorrectly read the questions. So next one. So encourage you actually to read correctly for not wasting time. Let's do the last step, almost the last. So the side lengths of rectangle are increased by 20%, all right? So means that was a rectangle 10 by 8 and side lengths, okay, they both increased by 20%. What is the percent increase in the area? Okay. If you think that you simply need to say that increase by 20 percentage, like, or even like square, because you probably remember that a is just simply length squared, so it looks like 0.2 squared. No, that doesn't work on this manner, because you see you have different size of your sides. So in order to calculate percentage increase in area, what do you need to do? First of all, you need to find area final. So A2 and A1 is the previous one. So the standard area A1 is just simply A by 10 centimeters squared. So it looks like it's 80 centimeters squared. And now let's calculate after increase by 20%. So obviously you need to calculate increase by 20%. So it means you need to calculate the final size if you know that this represent for each side represent 20% increase. So this is 20% increase here and here. In order to calculate how much in terms of unit of length, you just simply need to calculate 20% out of 8 and 20% out of 10. So it's very easy to calculate. 0.2 by 8, that's 20% out of 8, it's 1.6. And here 20% out of 10, so I don't write just the final answer, centimeters. Okay, so it means the final square should look like the following. So if 2 centimeters add up to 10, the full side is going to be 12 centimeters, and 8 and 1.6 becomes 9.6 centimeters. Let's calculate the area. So 12 times 9.6. All right. So 12 times 9.6. So we'll get 115.2 now centimeters squared. All right. So that's the final area. In order to calculate increase, so percentage increase in the area of the rectangle, what we need to do, just remember the very first task, we need to find change in area. So this is final minus initial. So let's subtract 80. So 35.2. And now what we need to do, in order to calculate percentage, we need to take change in A to initial area and times 100. All right. So let's do it. 35.2 over 80 and times 100. All right. Let's do it. 35.2 multiply by 100 and over 80. So 44% increase. And you see the difference, right? It's not simply 0.2 squared, like as percentage or like 20 squared. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, that's the right answer. So we can do the same. Circle radius is increased by 10. What percentage does area increase? All right, that task is pretty easy, and I'll solve it in a bit different way. I just simply write the formula for area increase. So change in A over A1 times 100. And in this case, let's say the initial radius was R. Okay, that's R, stays for the radius of initial circle. Okay, and it means that initial area is pi r squared. So change in area, because after increase by 10, I can write that new radius and new area is going to be pi r plus 10% increase. Okay, it means 0.1 from r squared, and I subtract, that's new radius, basically r new, so everything here in brackets, it's r new, and I just simply subtract pi r squared. All right, your initial area. So let's simplify that. Okay, pi r squared, and what I'll have here, r and 0.1 r, I'll get 1.1 r, but I need to square this, and simply to say we need to square 1.1 and r squared as well. So 1.1 squared, I'll get 121. And because, right, so pi times 121 r squared, and I just subtract pi r squared. So how much I will have in numerator? I will have pi r squared is the common factor. And simply what I will have 121, I subtract 1 here, okay, because we factorize pi r squared. And I will left with 0.21, okay, and I divide by pi r squared, okay, so that's the final answer. And now what I need to do, multiply by 100, so I didn't multiply anywhere, so it's right time to do. Obviously should be everywhere to have a correct equality. So we multiply by 100 and we'll get just 21% increase. Okay, so actually you can do in a bit different way if you like. So instead of r, you can take any initial value, let's say 1 for simplicity, 1 centimeters. And everywhere you can plug 1. That will relieve your calculations. So I did it generally. That's for more, advanced students. But I think that's okay. You can do it in both ways. All right, so we finalized that. Yeah, we don't have any exercise to go through. So that's it. This is the core. So next video will be discussing profit and loss. So profit and loss, sort of again financial math. So probably we consider several tasks about taxes, and we just go to completely finance task about interest. Okay, so we'll consider 2 types of interest rates, simple and compound. All right, and we just see how we can use multiplier here, the keywords, and then we just compare 2 ways of calculating interest using simple and compound rates. Okay, so that's a very significant task because you know what? In real life, one day you'll get some amount, right? You go to the bank and you'll just deposit it. So in this case, you need to be able to compare different financial products like deposits with different rates and with different way of calculating interest. And moreover, there might be more complicated, like more, there might be more differences in finance products in terms of how often it's going to be repaid to you, your interest earnings, and actually is it added to like deposit account, or it should be like it should go to another like credit or debit card account. So that's why all details I'll tell you in, I hope, in next video. So probably there will be one more video dedicated to like profit and loss and maybe taxes, and only after that we go to interest, because this topic is very like significant. Almost everywhere you'll have problems somehow relating to the percentage, and I must say that for real life application it's really necessary, okay, to compare which deposit to take or like which loans to take from which bank. So it's really apply math and will be helpful not only in GCSE, so probably in your first year studying, and just watch out. All right, so thank you guys, and up to the next videos.